What if the world you know isn't real? What if the boundaries of your identity, your existence, could just dissolve? Today, we're diving into one of the most haunting and thought-provoking anime ever made, Serial Experiments Lain. Today, we're talking about an anime that's truly one of a kind. If you've seen Serial Experiments Lain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a series that's both confusing and unforgettable, raising questions about technology, identity, and reality itself. Released in 1998, Serial Experiments Lain follows 14-year-old Lain Iwakura, an introverted girl whose world spirals into surreal chaos after she receives an email from a classmate who recently committed suicide. I know it sounds strange, and trust me, it only gets stranger. Lain's journey begins with a simple email, but that message drags her deep into a place called the Wired. Think of it as the internet, but much darker and far more immersive. As Lain spends more time in the Wired, she starts seeing versions of herself she doesn't recognize, different Lains that challenge her sense of who she is. And it doesn't stop there. She encounters otherworldly beings and secret organizations, all of whom seem to have a hidden agenda with her right at the center. This anime doesn't just tell a story, it breaks down reality itself. Serial Experiments Lain explores some pretty heavy questions. What is consciousness? Is there really a boundary between our world and the digital one? And ultimately, what does it mean to exist? It's as if the series pulls you into Lain's confusion. You're left wondering, where does the digital world end and the real world begin? And as she goes deeper, her family and friends start to feel alien to her, as if the Wired is pulling her in and rewriting her very existence. This isn't just sci-fi, it's existential horror. You feel Lain's isolation, her growing sense of paranoia, and her fading grasp on reality. And the more she explores, the more she questions everything she once knew, even herself. So what makes Serial Experiments Lain such a standout? It's not just the plot, it's the atmosphere. The art style is dark, cold, and dreamlike, creating this haunting space that feels empty and vast. Even the sound design, though strange, almost industrial noises, pulls you deeper into Lain's world. The anime doesn't spoon-feed you answers either. It leaves you with questions, lingering doubts about technology and identity that stick with you long after the last episode ends. Ultimately, Serial Experiments Lain forces us to ask, in an age where we're constantly connected, where does the digital version of us end, and where do we begin? Are we even separate from it at all? With its dark, psychological themes and surreal narrative, Serial Experiments Lain isn't just a story, it's a warning. A haunting reminder of the thin line between our real selves and the identities we create online. So if you're ready for a truly mind-bending experience that will leave you questioning your own reality, give Serial Experiments Lain a watch. But be warned, it's not your typical anime. This one might just leave a mark on your mind.